booktube. It's Brecky from Brecky Writes, and this is Brecky Reads. This is my Grisha Trilogy review. This is a spoiler-free review of the Grisha Trilogy by Leigh Bardugo. And the Grisha Trilogy by Leigh Bardugo includes Shadow and Bone, Siege and Storm, and Ruin and Rising. So the Grisha Trilogy is a story of Alina and her best friend Mal. They both grow up as orphans. In the beginning of the story, Alina and Mal are sent into this creepy shadow realm called the Fold, where they are attacked, and Alina discovers that she has a special ability. She is whisked away to study with the Grisha, and the rest of the story unfolds from there. There are so many wonderful things about this trilogy. This has amazing world building. It's one of the things that I most enjoyed about it. The world is Imperial Russia-esque. If you know anything about Imperial Russia, you will know a lot of the setting that Leigh Bardugo is creating, from the buildings to some of the religious expressions to even bits and pieces of the language. I also really liked this magic system. So in this world, magic is something that some people are born with the ability to use and other people aren't. And those that are born with it are called Grisha, but the Grisha don't have control of all kinds of magic. You have a particular emphasis, and they're split into 3 kinds of emphasis. And when you're a child, they discover that you have this gift and you're sent away to school to sort of become strong in whatever your emphasis is. It's a pretty cool magic system, and I really enjoyed that about these books. Another thing that I super loved about these books were the characters. This is definitely a character-driven story. The plot is solid, but the characters are fabulous. The Grisha Trilogy in many ways is a coming-of-age story for Alina. She's small and scrawny and kind of is the invisible girl at the beginning of the first book, and even by the second book, she is kick-ass. She has this gift, she's coming into her own with it, she is growing in her fearlessness, but it's not like one moment she's like weak and scared and the next moment she's like a total badass. This trilogy follows her as she like grows into what her gifts are, and she grows into this destiny, but she's not really sure she wants, that she kind of pushes at the edges against, and I just think that she's a really great protagonist. And the villain in this series, oh my goodness, the Darkling is exactly that. He's dark, but he's human, he is complicated, he's really evil at points, but he's also like amazingly human and fragile at points. In Shadow and Bone, you aren't really sure how bad of a bad guy is he, but if you finish this book, you will know that he's capable of some pretty monstrous stuff. And I think the fact that there are moments of light, that there are moments where his humanity is so real and so raw, that are then compared to these moments where he is like epically evil, make him such a great villain. Other characters in this series that crop up later on are just fabulous. Stormhund, who is a pirate you see later on, is quick-witted and just amazing. And also Alina's best friend, Mal. I think he's the least developed of all the main characters that we see. He's so complex and has a really interesting past and future and how they interweave with everybody else's story. It's just such a good series. One of the things I like most about this trilogy is that it asks some big life questions. What does it mean to be merciful rather than ruthless? What does it mean to be human even when you've done terrible things? What does it mean to love and to sacrifice? And ultimately, what does it mean to lead? And does everybody who has been graced with gifts really want to be a leader? Now, if you watch a lot of reviews, I will say that the ending of this book wasn't my favorite, although I did enjoy it and I appreciated it and I totally understood why it went the way it went. But if I was writing this book, I would have made things a little different, but I didn't write this book, and so considering it didn't go the way I exactly wanted it to go, I was satisfied with it. I could have gone a different direction and it didn't. I don't generally tab my fiction books, but you can see that these last 2 definitely have some tabs. I think that the best book in the series was Ruin and Rising. I think the first book was good, and the second book got better, and the third book I feel like Leigh Bardugo really hit her stride. I gave Shadow and Bone 4.5 stars. I gave Siege and Storm 4 stars because I feel like it dragged a little bit in the middle, and I gave Ruin and Rising 5 stars. Overall, I think this was a 4.5 star series for me. It was so good, so inventive and imaginative. The characters are fabulous. The world is almost like its own character. I can't wait to read Six of Crows. If you like an epic fantasy, if you like a strong female protagonist and a morally gray, complex, evil villain, this is the series for you. If you've read this series, let me know in the comments. I am going to be filming a gush video for this that is full of spoilers, and so I will link that in the description. But if you've read this and you want to talk about it, or if you have questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments. I want to talk about all the things for the Grisha Trilogy with all the people who've read it. So if you have, please let me know. and I will be doing a spoiler-filled video very soon. Bye!